Man, the last little bit on hockey social media has been just absolutely bonkers. Like this trade today. Groundbreaking. No, but there was a significant trade today. Kyle Dubas. He's been in better form lately. Also a pretty good trade for the Avs, who are in win now mode. I think this is a good little pickup for them, and it clears up some cap space or maybe something sneaky. Oh, and there was something about Patrik Laine. Les Kings ont discuté avec le CH par rapport à Laine. Mais l'attaquant ne serait pas très haut sur la liste de priorité. I don't know what that means. It's French. I can't read French. But it's about Patrik Laine, obviously. So let's talk about it.
How's your breath?
It's not good, eh?
No, I meant in terms of conditioning.
I just want the NHL schedule to start back up, man. I think that Leafs game tomorrow could be interesting to watch too. I was kind of joking at the intro of this video. The social media has been on fire recently. I don't feel the need to comment on that. I do like trolling people a lot online though. I might talk about that at the latter part of this video. But that's not what this is about. This is about Patrik Laine.
Waiting, being patient with the puck. Demidov. Laine, one-time drive, score!
I think I might have only touched on this in a post, but it really looks like the writing is on the wall for Patrik Laine. However, depending on what other teams think, they might not want to play ball with the Canadiens management. And it sounds like a door might have closed. What do they say? When a door closes, a window opens or something like that? No, that doesn't make sense. What is it? When one door closes, another one opens. The doors have been opening for our community, for our channel. We've been doing so well, guys. This is another great month. Thank you so much for your support. I appreciate all of you. Been seeing a lot of comments, we've kind of had to be a little bit heady lately, haven't we? I appreciate everything you've been saying. There are individuals who have challenged me. I really appreciate that. And I'm kind of proud of myself for acquiescing a little bit on certain things. I did talk about how I didn't like the Olympic format. And did I say I wouldn't mind if the NHL didn't participate in the future? Or did I allude to that? Something to that effect. Anyway, I understand individuals who are hockey fans internationally. Yes, of course, you want to see competition at that level. It makes complete sense. I'm sorry that I had my mind stuck there. We are spoiled in North America. To have the National Hockey League here with all of its faults, all its blemishes, all its problems, still a relatively large league that is able to adequately pay their athletes and provide a really good product to their viewers. So I understand where you're coming from. I totally agree with you. I'm reversing my thoughts on international play and play at a high level, best on best action. I just wish they would change the format or make the format better. But I digress. Let's talk about Patrik Laine. So as I was saying, it seems like the writing's on the wall for him. He doesn't have a spot in the top 6 anymore, although he could find his way there. An injury could do it. When did they ever get injured? Oh, but Newhook is coming back. He's skating. He's no longer in a non-contact jersey during practice. Of course, Doc is back. Texier's in the mix now. The seats are filling up, and if Laine can't implement into the top 6, in the bottom 6, man, in the defensive zone, he's a liability. He doesn't have it. They even had him playing as a defenseman today in practice, maybe to give him a different perspective. Anyway, the news today, or earlier today, from Dennis Bernstein was trade deadline update. As the Kings explore the market for a top 6 forward, I can confirm they spoke with Montreal about Patrik Laine. However, there doesn't seem to be a fit right now, and Kings are looking elsewhere. To which Marco D'Amico, friend of the channel, responds, the Kings have discussed with the Habs regarding Laine, but the forward wouldn't be very high on the priority list. As discussed yesterday on the Sur la Marché podcast, the Kings could circle back later, but the fit isn't there. Dennis hits the nail on the head. Yeah, I think that people got really romantic about a trade to the Kings, especially if there's something coming back, something like Yoel Armia. But that's like you're living in a dream, buddy. Hindsight 2020, giving up Yoel Armia for what he signed for in LA. Yeah, probably he probably would have fit on the team, right? But look at LA's system. You think Patrik Laine works in that type of system? With Fiala injured and out for the season, right? Out for the season, potentially back for playoffs. So without Fiala, yeah, they're looking for somebody to slot in on the top 6. But they're likely looking for more of an all-arounder, not an individual with silky mitts and the shot that Laine has. I see Laine fitting with a team that is maybe rebuilding, someone who's missing several spots in the top 6. So while I thought that the LA trade thing was kind of cute, I never really thought it was realistic. I could also see like a negative equity trade to a team like the Canucks, but it would have to be done with the intention of making another move from there to make it worth it. Like, why are they freeing up cap space and retaining salary on Laine if they're not going to make a move that immediately makes the team better for the upcoming playoffs? Now I'm kind of two minds with it. I think that the Habs could wait. I mean, if Laine filled some sort of like a 13th forward role, coming in periodically to give some guys a rest, or if someone got injured, even in the playoffs, maybe, it could be interesting. It could be dynamic. But certainly, this is the last season Laine is with the Canadiens. And I wonder what his future looks like. He's going to have to take a contract that he's not going to be as nice as his current contract, let's say. All right, I think I beat that one to death. The other thing I wanted to touch on is the boys are all back. Kapanen, Slav, Nick, Texier. Kapanen's been practicing. Texier's been practicing. Slav and Nick took a day off today. I think that they just got back. There might have been some delays in their flight because of the storm. They will practice tomorrow, and Martin St. Louis revealed that Sam and Jakub will split the first 2 games back. So Monty in net for one game, Dobesh in net for the other. Your guess is as good as mine about who will start first. But of course, we're all waiting for that game on Thursday. The New York Islanders, who have been playing about as good as the Montreal Canadiens, maybe a little bit better. And then on Saturday, Montreal versus the Washington Capitals. That's going to be a fun one. And Saturday night, Saturday night hockey. Oh boy, that feels good. Thinking about that feels good. So I'll see you then, but I did want to finish with something. I kind of said I would. I don't want this to devolve. I don't want it to even go over the top. I thought about not even mentioning it, but there's been too many chickens that don't want to even talk about this or let their thoughts be known. And I think a little bit, like individuals have said in the comments, if you're silent about it, you're a little bit too complacent. So there's been a lot of discussion about the U.S. team visiting the White House. Naturally, that means that President Trump is part of the conversation. And whenever hockey and politics overlap, things get pretty intense for some reason. So I want to say this clearly, and I don't want to catch the channel on fire or anything like that. And if you've been a member here, and if you've subscribed to me for a while now, then it's no surprise that I'm not a huge fan of President Trump. I am a Canadian after all. He is messing around with the economy quite a bit, and that's to say nothing about the weird threats and so on. But I've already said too much because I think that there's value in not saying a lot about it, because if you pay no mind, it goes away. A lot of this stuff is based on reactions. So what I will say is probably more important. I believe in love is love. I believe in freedom of expression. I believe in human rights. Full stop. To me, that should not be radical. That's baseline. It's about dignity. It's about people being allowed to exist in safety and authenticity. Now, does that mean that I think that every athlete who visits the White House believes in everything that the person behind the desk is saying, everything that they preach, everything that the administration preaches? No, historically, championship teams visit the president, right? That's been true across administrations. That's some players go, some players don't. Tim Thomas is somebody that comes to mind. But, and this is the nuanced part, and I think I have this parsed out correctly in my brain, and I think I can say this correctly, even though it is hard to articulate. What I don't want to do is pretend that politics don't affect people. They do. It affects fans. It affects players. It affects families. But also what I don't want is that this channel becomes a place where we're screaming at each other over red versus blue, unless it's the Habs versus the Leafs. And even then, you have to realize you're screaming at people that are just like you. They're very similar to you, right? Hockey is supposed to bring people together. I think that's when hockey is at its best, even when you disagree with those people. So if supporting basic human rights upsets someone, that's unfortunate. But I'm not going to stop believing that people deserve respect. And that's a principle that I'll stick to. You can love hockey, you can love your country, and you can still stand for inclusion and human dignity. That's where I stand. And now we can get back to talking about the good stuff. So tomorrow, NHL is back. Extremely excited. Hope you are too. You guys know what to do. Like the video, helps me out with, I don't know, probably search results, I think. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. I'd love to have you. And as always, I will see you down in the comments.